armed and ready to go. So let's start right over here on the aisle. Coming right behind you. It's going. Go ahead.
Linda Morris, I'm from Bayville. I am business in Brielle.
Of course you can. Thank you.
My question is, I was approved for an ICC claim with Irene. The day of the Hurricane Sandy, my home was supposed to be lifted. Yeah, me.
Bad timing, yeah.
That's my luck. Anyway, my flood company, my homeowners, FEMA, nobody wants to cover anything because I'm in the middle of a federal claim. Do you know what agency I can talk to?
Yeah, you're going to talk to us because you got no hope of doing this on
They
your own,
tell
I
me I'm
suspect.
not, yeah, they tell me I'm not cookie cutter and that nobody
Congratulations,
wants to do anything.
that's really good. Where's Jean? Where's Jean Ashmore? Where are you? There's Jean. Jean's the head of the Office of Constituent Relations. She's the lady in the red, making her way over. She's going to give you her card. You're going to call Jean, and then we're going to run interference with you for TV.
That's why you should ask the question if you need help.
All right, yes, ma'am, right there. He's coming up behind you.
Hi, I'm Nancy Brin from Antelope. How you doing? Great to have you here.
Thank you.
I have a question about the grant money.
Sure.
I saw something in the paper yesterday about it being mean tested. And the low and moderate is going to be considered $51,000. That's going to be a lot of...
The means testing will be, and this is stuff set by the federal government. The means testing is combined joint income of $250,000 or less. Okay? Now, what you saw about low and moderate income is that 50% of the money that's distributed must go to low and moderate income folks. And that's the number you saw, $51,000 per year or below. But the means testing for all the grants is no higher than the $250,000 in joint income. So 50% of the money will go to people between $50,000 and $250,000. 50% about approximately will go from 0 to $50,000.
Thank you. The other question. If I raise my home now, will I be entitled to get grant money later?
Okay. We've worked this out with the federal government that if you make arrangements now to have your home raised, that we will be able to reimburse folks for that, okay? So what I want you to do before you do it is to make sure that you reach out to the Department of Community Affairs. You go on the website, get the phone number, reach out to them, make sure you get your information to them so they know that you're proceeding. Now, you're not going to have to wait long because the federal approval for this program should come in about 2 weeks. And so then there'll be an application process on the board. So you may want to start to look into it now, but the practicality of it is you may not even get your work started until you can actually apply for the program. And so we do have some people who've already done work on their homes, and we worked hard to try to get reimbursement for those folks, and we've got an agreement to get reimbursement. Of course, the concern is always fraud, right? That the repairs you made were really connected to the hurricane, and so we're concerned. And so for those people who have done work and are going to be reimbursed, you're going to get extra scrutiny. But we promise you right now that we're going to really look hard to make sure we see the receipts, that they're dated the right way, that the damage is consistent with flood damage and all the rest of it. It's not because we want to be difficult on you, but because we want to make sure that the people who really need this money are the people who get it, and that we don't see other people defrauding others and trying to game the system. I'm sure there's going to be some. We'll do it. For those folks, I want them to be reminded, though, you tell any of those folks who are going to defraud, my administration is filled with former federal prosecutors who miss being federal prosecutors. I would like nothing more than to begin prosecuting again, all right? So we're there to help them. And the means testing of the low moderate income piece are all federal requirements on that money. But as long as you make less than $250,000 per year in income, you're going to be eligible for the programs. Yes, sir. I will turn around back to you, don't worry. Because usually they start grumbling at this point if I haven't turned around to the back, so I don't want to grumble. Look at that. There you go.
Hi, Governor. Robert Shalhoub from Tom's River.
Robert.
First, I'd say you're doing a great job, and I do appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
I just think we need to start thinking about, we have Barrier Island and we have Back Bay. And all the conversations are always about, raise our homes, we've got to raise our homes. I live on the Back Bay. you're asking me to raise my house, but nobody's gonna raise that road. So I feel that you've moved to the back bay, you shifted burden to citizens to raise their houses, and yet, what's the government gonna do to raise the roads, make sure I get emergency service into safety? So wouldn't it be better to do true mitigation with the dune systems and possibly sluice gates on the canal, so at least the back bay is protected the way it should be?
Well, we are going to do dune systems, and there's been $5.4 billion appropriated by the federal government for us and New York to work on dune systems to protect, and you've had some of the beaches have had engineered beaches, and when you've seen those engineered dune systems, those towns in the main suffered significantly less damage. The commitment we now have from the president, the federal government, is that we're going to engineer all 130 miles of the New Jersey shoreline, and that those billions of dollars will help us to do that over the next couple of years. So one, we are dealing with the issue that you're talking about. Secondly, we're also looking through the money we're getting for transportation mitigation for both our roadways and our railways and bridges at the idea of raising some of these roads. And so we're going to do that, but we're not going to make those decisions until we get the next set of FEMA maps to see where they see the flow going. So we are going to try to do that too. Third, the issue of you raising your home is, in our view, depending upon how the maps turn out, for your own protection. And, you know, maybe we wind up raising your road, maybe we don't. It's going to depend on the amount of resources and the ones that are most at risk. But we have to do all of those things, I'd submit to you, to try to make sure that the next time this happens, we don't suffer the kind of damage that we suffered this time. And that's why I've been so hard on the dune system side of things, and for people who don't want to give easements for their dunes. All we're asking for is construction easements. I don't want to own the property, I'm not taking the property. But you know, I'm not going to really react kindly to people who are complaining to me about losing their view. Right? I mean,